But I think sometimes when the personal life and that time is up, then the time is up. And sometimes when you let that go, blessings start falling down because sometimes you're suffocating your own blessings or the person you're with is suffocating your own blessings. So when it comes down to business, I think I'm good with that now. Because I think when you let somebody go, that person that was in your zone and in your way needs to get out the way so you could go ahead and push forward. And then you know the cause are there. I just needed that person to get out of the way because now I'm able to host the Emmys. Now I'm able to go on SNL. And I'm able to, get the brand partnership that I've been asking for. And then I'm ready to create my own line of things. But this person was in my way. And deep down, we know we have a discernment. So when that discernment is all over the place, that means God is speaking like they gotta go.
Welcome to Not All Hood. I love a good holiday movie all day, even though I know how the movie will end. But that's the fun of it, right? When I sat down with TY Johnston, the producer of the movie Style Me for Christmas, along with comedian Pretty Vee and actress Sincerely Ward, the trio gave some sage advice about setting creative boundaries in the industry, how to find creative independence, and the power of God in what was a surprising reveal from a preacher's kid. All we needed was a collection plate. We went to church just a little bit. Enjoy the conversation. All right. So listen, I am excited. All of these boss ladies here, and we have been talking already about gatekeeping. And I really wanted to go back to you about gatekeeping because people have seen you, they've seen your face, they've seen your body, they've seen all of you. Now they're going to see your acting talents. But in terms of those gatekeepers who were out there, I know that being a sex symbol, being this video vixen, as it was called, it came with a lot of power. How did you use that in order to say, you know what, I need to get to the next level, but I will use this for good. I will move the needle of my career and do something more. How did that happen?
I think, going back to gatekeeping, as we were saying earlier, I feel like what God has for you, no man can stop kind of thing. And as long as you're operating in your God-given gifts and talents and really utilizing them like you should, then you're going to always kind of be on that path. But yes, I have, met a few gatekeepers. People want to see you do good, but not better than them sometimes. You kind of don't know that until after the fact. But it caused me to really understand and explore the power of reinvention. So, I've reinvented myself. I can't even say like intentionally, but you just keep going. So I was telling you, like, my day job is I'm a private jet broker, right? So, but, I have, I've done reality, I've done movies, all that stuff. But even in that world, it's a male-dominated kind of business as well. But the things that I've learned from being an OG video vixen and, going ahead and modeling and all those things, I still was able to carry over into that. And one of the biggest things is rapport, And one of the things I tell my daughter is beauty will get you in a room, but what keeps you there? So just because you're cute or people may, sexualize you or see you for one thing, what else do you have to offer? Kind of like that whole, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. Right. Hey, don't make me shake it. Right. I know that's right. So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. Gatekeeping too, when we talk about females in comedy, there are plenty of female comedians, especially women of color. Yeah. But to break through, that is terribly difficult. When we talk about gatekeeping, when they call on people who they want to come to the stage and host SNL, it's just not Black women. You know what I mean? When they are filling up arenas to the level, there are so many more men of color and just men in general who are doing that. But you got through that gate. How would you say it was done? You were telling me something earlier about what Cat Williams had told you. You got a lot of mentors in there. What has it been like for you?
It's been a great journey, but ups and downs comes with having a great journey as well. We're not just going to always that. It's going to be some, and it's going to be, and then it's always going to be that, like a roller coaster. But like I always said, to tell anybody, a delay is never denial. You know, I'm always prayerful. I'm always hopeful. I have a praying mother. I am a PK. So, you know, the gospel's on every day. And
Girl, you're a PK. You're a preacher's
I am a PK.
kid.
I am a preacher's kid.
Wow.
You know, so I believe that God will work it out, you know, and he's doing everything for my good. And I have friends in the industry and I have mentors in the industry who cover me in a space of like, look, you know, stay in the way, you know, but stay in your way, you know, and do it right, you know, create your lane, you know, keep reinventing yourself, you know, get current, you know, what's the new jokes, you know, what's going on TikTok, you know, I'm on every social outlet just to see what everybody's doing, just to get my chops right and good, you know, but when I hear the word gatekeeping, I go to a spiritual space, you know, I go to spiritual warfare, you know, I go to people, you know, praying on your downfall. I go to people thinking that, hey, you know, why her, not me? You know, so I go deeper when I hear the word gatekeeping because people, you know, think they're stopping a show, but they ain't really doing nothing for real. They're actually tiring their own self out. They actually getting gray hair too early. Their edges falling out. You know, they can't sleep at night. You know, so I think for me, you know, what God sees, he will, you know, reveal. What he sees in the dark, he will reveal. So I just keep myself going. Like, I don't really have all the extra, like, moments on how it went. It's just like, I have a story. You know, I got fired from multiple jobs. You know, I know that I wasn't supposed to be working for nobody, you know, but again, I had to go through a process before my promise. So, you know, I'm walking in that victorious season and it only gets better. We gonna go through some things, but we don't stay in it, you know? And that's
Girl,
just
where
what
is
it
the
is.
collection plate?
Right.
Right.
I'm just telling you, like, that's it. You just don't stay in your depression season. You don't stay in your anxiety season. I done been there. We got the book coming out in February. You know,
That's right.
we have that devotional book that I wrote for over a year now. That it tells my story, and it tells I have my victorious friends in the book as well, Shaq and Kat and Issa and, you know, my girlfriends. You know, so they really share what makes them victorious, and I live by what's in my book because I can't sit in depression. I done been there before and I done lost days. I done lost times. I done lost opportunities. I done gained some headaches from it, stomach issues. We don't want to live like that. You know, you got to give it to God. And when you give it to God, you know, it's just peace with it. And again, I got to practice what I preach because we do go in those moments in today and be like, dang, you know, let me get out of this funk. But when you see the house you live in, you see the people that you're meeting and the team that you're developing and the, you know, the people that you're sitting with, you're like, oh God, thank you for choosing me.
Attitude of gratitude.
Right. I thank you for giving me this responsibility, you know, and I appreciate it, you know, so that's that.
Yeah, you know, you've opened up so much. I just want to bring you in because I will get back to that so much, though. I know that you certainly, being a producer, being a writer, being everything, you're the one that has assembled all of these ladies in the storyline. Amen.
Come on,
Listen. We know that you are really someone who's a pioneer. But I know that gatekeeping real, especially in Hollywood or wherever you are, we're in Atlanta, that's real in terms of getting into that industry and bringing about images on TV, bringing about images that reflect really who we are. Yeah. It's a big deal.
Oh, no, it's definitely a big deal. I mean, for me, you know, I knew about gatekeeping back in the Y2K days. Right? I'm talking about late 99, right. You know, just because, you know, trying to get projects off the ground, you know, it can be very, very difficult. And, you know, pitching has always been a thing that I've always done, like being able to pitch projects for people or pitch, and you know, the concept and making sure that it could come across the right way to those gatekeepers. A lot of times those gatekeepers, they might just be, you know, an assistant, you know, making sure that they're taking a look at everything before it has to hit, you know, the desk of the executive. So for me, I become friends with them. You know, I got a niche of how I'm able to kind of move through those different avenues. And I'm also a giver. So like for me, I want to make sure that I'm not asking you for something. I want to give you something. So what do you need? What do you need? How can I help you? Right. So that still aligns with a lot of my purpose and what I'm able to give off. So, I mean, you know, you can call it gatekeeping, but they don't stop the show. Right. You're going to open that gate. Oh, we're going to open it up. And you can be a part of it too.
Yes. You know, you mentioned something about just being in a depressive state. Now, I know we've all been there.
Yeah.
I can remember when my father passed, I gave myself 2 weeks. And I just stayed in bed. Like I said, you know what? You have to go through this to get to the other side. Yeah. I mean, I got up. I remember going to the bathroom. I remember eating a little bit. But I just said, just take the time. Otherwise, you won't get through in the state that you are in. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering where we have all been when we have been in those places, but then what got us out there, especially with you, because you mentioned it a lot, and that's going to be in your book coming up.
Yes.
You know, what got you to that depressive state, and how did you get out?
I mean, you always worrying about the what ifs and the maybes. That's what depression is. It's like you're worrying about the what ifs and the maybes in your next, and we don't know what our next looks like. And that's when you get into a space of feeling sad or like, am I worthy? And then you start doubting yourself. Then you start calling everybody for answers. You done waste the past the time because he done told you to pray and give it to God. And you're like, okay, I gave it to God. Now what next? So all those stuff could take you into a depression space and anxiety and nervousness. So for me, I was there because my mom told me in middle school, she said, God said you're going to be in arts. And I didn't know what she was talking about. You know, I was like, am I going to paint? Am I going to, get into this industry right away after school? Am I going to be this radio personality that I want to be? What is it? And I waited 2 years to find out that I fought myself in the street and I got viral. And after that, I had to put the work in after. I got viral that 1 year, but you still, okay, we off that. You're like, what's next?
Right.
So I had to build those characters. I had to build those Sharon, my Jamaican characters. I had to build those Peanut Mom, my single mother character, the Bobo, my little ghetto girl, my little Latina character. Had to build that and say, okay, well, this is what you meant, God. Now God, like, meet me halfway. You fought yourself in the street. It might be crazy the most, but I'm doing it for your good.
Right.
I gave that gift in you. I gave that vision in your mind to do it. It may look crazy, and you may need a straight jacket after that, but you out there fighting yourself with nobody else.
Right.
But I'm doing it to people to show you that you're rare. You have ranges, and they're going to see it. Give it time. And that's when 2018, 2019 came, is when I had the shot to be on Wild 'N Out. So when I get out of these depression spaces, I remember his promise, what he told my mom. I remember what he told her, and then I'm able to live in it and say, oh, get out of that space. You have so much stuff ahead of you and so much stuff to do. Yeah.
Happy holidays. We just want to say thank you for tuning in and being part of the Not All Hood family. We really appreciate you.
Enjoy the holidays, and I have an idea for you. Why don't you take this time off to catch up on all of the Not All Hood episodes? Join the conversation.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And have a very Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
What's been the advice that someone has given all of you along the way that has gone a long way? I remember once somebody told me, he was the CEO of a company, and we were just talking. He just decided, I'm going to give you this advice. He says, you know what? Don't work as hard for somebody else. You're never going to get it working at that company. I don't care where it is. You know, you could be at Microsoft. You could be at, any big company. You could be at a big bank. You could be a CEO. Mm-hmm. But that is not the place where you want to work as hard. You want to put all of that in yourself.
You're helping somebody else build their dream.
That's right. You are helping somebody else. What's the advice that somebody has given you that has really gone a long way?
Something someone told me, a hairstylist, Dee Dee Wells, actually. She may or may not know this, but I was, this is in my OG Video Vixen days. I believe it was the set of Fabulous's I Can't Deny It, which was also an interesting thing because around that time, we had, of course, you shoot something like months prior, but right around the time it was ready for that video to drop, 9/11 happened. Mm-hmm. So like MTV, all the channels were airing red, white, and blue videos. So like I was on the television 24/7. So that's a whole other caveat. But on that set, that's why it was a special memory for me. She told me, sincerely, you have this gift. People really like you, and you have this way of gaining rapport with people. You need to hone in on that and make sure you never lose the ability to gain rapport and build upon that with people that you encounter. And, I say that people always, they may not remember what you did or how you did it, but they remember how you made them feel, So that's something that I carry to this day with me. And I think it has definitely impacted a lot of different things that have happened to me.
Yeah. That's why sorry for some people does not go a long way.
Right.
It's like, you made me feel a certain way. And every time I came upon you now, I still feel that same way. And it's hard to get rid of that. What about you?
Yeah. For me, something that really sticks out is a former mentor of mine. He said to me when I was in the midst of, I just got finished producing this very large event in South Florida, and I was so young and I wasn't even into producing yet. And after that, I had a gentleman who I booked for that event, a comedian by the name of Benji Brown. He came up to me and he just saw that I had 4,000 people in a room, how I'm able to gather this, have control over it. Everybody have a great time, no freakouts, right? Nothing crazy. And he walks up to me and he says, I need for you to manage me. And I'm like, manage you? Like, I don't know nothing about managing nobody. And so I tell my mentor that. And you know, he says to me, so what, you can learn. And when he said that, it changed the trajectory of my life, right? Yeah. It made me put myself in a fast paced position to want to learn more. And I'm still, even though I'm that educator today, because if you're going to work with me, you're going to learn something.
Sure,
okay, right. I don't care what it is. I mean, these girls, they already know that. But for me, I don't want to stop learning. Because that means my growth is stunted. So I want to be able to learn every single step of the way. I don't care if I'm 85, like I'm still trying to learn.
Right. And you know what? That's great advice, because really, if somebody interviews for you for a job or someone says to you, you know, I want you to do something, if you say I can't, that's going to be a no right away. But really what you are probably going to learn to do is not going to be brain surgery. You know what I mean? Like you're going to learn it within 2-3 days if you're really grinding in terms of that.
What is this saying? Hard work wins over talent.
Exactly. Right. And then also follow the talent. I'm sure that the male gaze on you, especially, and you know, all of us, yes. But I mean, especially back in the day with that title. But no, you're right with all of us, because you know, there's just a certain way that. Well, let me see. How do I want to put this? Why don't you share with me your experiences that you have had? And I don't know if you have Me Too stories. I'm not asking that, but I do want your life lessons about what it took to get through, I'm sure, some phases where men put you in a position where you're like, oof, I got to work this out and go to God or go to jail.
I'm sure we all have some stories. But I think that because my grandparents had a large hand in raising me and my twin, so I was instilled with like old school like values, you know? So I always knew like my worth and my value as a person. And what I realized early on, because it is, you know, it's a thing when you're walking the streets of New York City and you see yourself on a magazine cover, you know, in a bikini, you know? And for us, Black Men Magazine was our Sports Illustrated, you know? And I never did anything that was like my body of work, you know, classless, you know? But it's like, how do you leverage that? Because I know that that doesn't define me, you know? But if that's what you think, or if that's what will get me to maybe hold an audience with you or something, then once you get to know me or get to meet me, then you're like, I actually like that girl. So it's kind of like, would you rather see the value in me as a dedicated, down for whatever, lifelong friend who has a lot of reciprocal energy, like you scratch my back, I scratch yours, how can I add to your life? Or you just want to hit it and quit it. And you know what? I've got things for that. I don't need help. You know what I mean? So I figured that out early on. And again, one thing that I tell my daughter is, you know, beauty will get you in a room, but what keeps you there? So it's okay to use your beauty to get somewhere if you find me aesthetically pleasing. And we all have our own, you know, insecurities about ourselves. Everyone, you know, we're human, but what is it that you want to present to the world? And I think it's important to, you know, any young, you know, woman that I come across, like speaking to the other attributes that I see in them, to let them know, you know, it's more than like, can you put your eyebrows on good today, sis?
Right.
But, you know, I have a question for you, Pretty Vee. Because, like, you are funny as shit. Can I say?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
The FCC is not coming to get us.
Off camera, just normally just her. But she's also very beautiful. So this is what you get called markability.
Right.
Yeah. So did your funniness come from maybe like a distraction to maybe distract from like maybe male attention, or, you know, being hypersexualized or something like that? Or You just like funny like that.
I see where you're going.
Do you know what I mean?
I see where you're going.
Maybe you can ask it better.
Because the development of sometimes people when they're funny is because they've been going through things or maybe somebody made fun of them and they had time to focus on being funny because people weren't seeing them being sexualized. But with you, it's a different combination.
Yeah. I think for myself, like I've always been funny.
Okay.
So
you were at the dinner table.
That's me.
You were doing shows in the family room.
I'm talking to doll babies. Okay. I'm in the mirror.
Okay.
Acting like I'm at the Oscars and I'm hosting it. Like, and ain't nobody in there. I've been this person. But as a kid, we all went through things. We go through things. It's definitely trauma, all that. But, I think for me, I entertain myself to quiet noise out. I used to do that as a kid. I used to look outside my window in 5th grade and I just be like envisioning like scenarios in my mind as far as like different movie scenarios and whatever was going on with my mama. Like that made me pay attention to what I know I'm going to be or what I'm going to be a part of as a kid. So I would
kid in South Carolina or Miami?
Miami. I was literally in that space of entertaining myself because that's all I really had for real. Like I have 2 other siblings, now I have a 3rd one on my dad's side, but it was moments of like, if they ain't paying me no mind and my brother out in Miami somewhere, my mama trying to figure it all out, I'm like, okay, let's just play. I'm in my room by myself. Let's just figure it all out. And I'm laughing at myself because it's funny to me. So I think for me, all the dramaticness, the characters came from like just my upbringing and I just been funny for real. But that is my outlet when I know like I want to get away from everything and I know no one's paying me no mind. I just entertain myself. Wow. For sure. As a kid, I was doing that for sure.
Yeah. And were you, writing when you grew up and had these Hollywood dreams?
Oh my gosh. I just, I had this story the other day with somebody. They was like, how did you get involved in all of this? I was like, I used to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
So I was very young doing Toys R Us commercials, Lego toys, also to like modeling for Wilson's Leather, all that stuff from back in the day. But the one thing was I used to put on a towel around my head.
Did you say Wilson's Leather? Girl, she said Wilson's Leather. She's taking us back.
Yes,
back.
come on, y'all. Come all the way back, right?
I remember Wilson's Leather.
But I used to put a towel on my head, put a rubber band around it so I could have this long ponytail.
That's how we be.
And let me tell you what, I would watch Solid Gold, baby. I was ready for Maude. See, they ain't ready for Solid Gold. They
right. But man, listen, Whoopi Goldberg did something like that, right? Where she put on, she
from a woman show.
That's right, her one woman show.
Yep.
That's right. She sure did.
And I used to watch Little House on the Prairie and,
she went Laura Ingalls on us, y'all. She went Laura Ingalls.
I mean, I watched it until they blew up the town. Okay, so I was all into that series, right?
Yeah.
But then, fast forward, I was like, when I was going to all these auditions, I said to myself, man, like I'm not getting picked, and I was tired of the no. That I wanted to be behind the camera to tell somebody yes. So I want to be able to give the yeses. So that's how I fell in this role.
Wow. And I'm sure that you see a lot of people. I remember we did this play in New York City. It was called Supernatural. And it was a play. It was like the Vagina Monologues, but it was about natural hair and their journeys. So, one woman, took the stage one at a time. And I remember I was kind of new to, the whole audition process on the producer side. And I was so surprised. I mean, we had like hundreds of women come for these parts. And then I realized, well, of course, because they're not making those parts for Black women to line up with like that. I mean, it's slightly different today. Like when I turn on the TV and I can see Survival of the Thickest and Harlem and, Style Me for Christmas even, because I love a good Christmas movie. What? Yes, I love it. So there is more choice now, but I can understand how years ago you would think, let me get on the other side and make it happen. And that's what a lot of good producing. It is
because of people like this lady right here who created that space and an opportunity for a Style Me for Christmas. Who saw a talented Black writer, Lynette, with a script and wants to go and fight for people. And, she's, figured out and become successful in her own right. She doesn't have to buck the system, but she's not afraid to use her voice, and not just say, oh, let me be politically correct and keep my job and stay in everybody's good graces, but say, no, I really kind of believe in this person for this. And maybe you should hire this. And you know what? Oh, I know a good makeup artist. You're definitely responsible for our stories getting out there and being heard. And they're good stories.
And Ty is really a good connector.
Ty.
Yes, Ty is really a good connector as well, because I just had my one-woman show I brought Sharon on the road, and we sold out center stage.
That's crazy.
Yes. That is amazing.
We sold that out, and baby, it was a performance. Yes. You know, it was the sets. It was like a little mini Tyler Perry.
It was everything.
You know, it was really, really good, and I was proud to bring Ty along because sometimes an artist needs structure.
That's
right.
right.
I'm very hands-on. You could ask my girl right there. That's my hairstylist, but you know, she plays a lot of roles in my life as well, so she knows like I'm very hands-on, like, because I feel like when God gave it to you, I don't need nobody else to mess up what I got. You know, and the gift, you have to be very, 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 very careful of who you hand it to.
Right.
You know, because they don't know how to take care of it the way you take care of it. So when I called Ty up and I was like, Ty, like, you know, I need help for Sharon. It's coming up. I keep changing the dates. I'm nervous. I'm anxiety. Like, you know, it's July 19th. We got to stick to it. And she was like, look, I see it go big. She was at every rehearsal. You know, she made sure everything was good. She made sure, like, baby, I know that character, baby, and you're going to have to give a little bit more. You know, she played so much behind the scenes. I'm like, Ty, I just told you to come here and structure the show, not tell me how my character is supposed to be. But you need it. You know,
you need that unsolicited advice.
You need that. And Ty's not just in her world. She's in my world, too. You know, she's in those millennial worlds, too. She's in the Gen's world as well. So it's like, she's like, I'm not, and I got a daughter. She has a child. So she's still in that space of everybody knows what goes on. So if she knows that's not it, it's just not it, you know? And thank God I have my team as well to tell me, like, that's not funny to me, you know? And sometimes I'll be like, okay, what's funny to me? I'm gonna do it, you know? And sometimes they'll be like, oh, you see, it didn't go, you know? So it's like more of like, you need that person to tell you. So Ty was that for me in the midst of the Sharon run for me, because I was like, baby, I don't know if I could have done this without Ty, because she had everything lined up for sure.
Wow.
So thank you so much.
Space.
Yeah.
That really is something.
Thank you for being my point. Thank for sure.
No, listen.
Thank you.
We're going to run the market up.
I know.
Yeah.
And we had a great meeting yesterday.
Okay. Look, let us in. What was this meeting about?
We can't take the meeting.
Now, how should we do that?
We can't take the meeting. We cannot take the meeting.
But it's something great. You know, you mentioned how, you know, you guys are really not, you're more than just kind of business people working together, right? Yeah. So, but I can imagine that there have been times, because this happens to everybody, and, you know, you can think of, I'm sure a lot of people come to mind when I say that. Some people will sometimes get rid of their people because they know they have to start over.
Yeah.
Okay, she called Jesus, so you go first. Since you brought Jesus into it, you go first. When have you had to say to yourself, you know what?
Did I go there?
I'll give you the space to go there, because you know what? It's a good lesson for people to know that people do sometimes come in seasons, and stages in your life.
Season, lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, for myself, I think I'm dealing with that right now with personal life as well, and I could talk about that because I never talk about personal life on any of my any of these outlets that I go on. But I think sometimes when the personal life and that time is up, then the time is up. And sometimes when you let that go, a blessings start falling down, because sometimes you're suffocating your own blessings, or the person you're with is suffocating your own blessings. So when it comes down to business, I think I'm good with that now. Because I think when you let somebody go, that person that was in your zone and in your way needs to get out the way so you could go ahead and push forward. And then you know the cause are there. I just needed that person to get out the way, because now I'm able to host the Emmys. Now I'm able to go on SNL. And I'm able to, you know, get the brand partnership that I've been asking for. And then I'm ready to create my own line of things. But this person was in my way. And you know, deep down, we know we have a discernment. So you know when that discernment is all over the place, that means God is speaking, like, they got to go. And I had to do that in 21. I had to let a couple of people go out of my life and in my team, you know, so I could push forward, because they start suffocating me. And, you know, it becomes limited to God. And when he's trying to give you the limitless of him, and we can't see what we, you know, where we're headed, because things are in our way and people could be in our way. And I like change. I didn't like change. Everybody know I would stick it out. I would thug it out. I'm very loyal. I would thug out an 8 year. I would thug out a relationship for 5-10 years just because I want to be there. But now when I know that I'm in this space, I ain't 25 no more. So I got to really and truly make really great decisions of my life and my career. So I'm good with change now. You know, I wasn't at first, but it's really, 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 really important to shift. And shifting may cause you to feel sad and depressed and what I'm gonna do, but you have to get your yes. Yeah. You know, you gotta get your yes, because my mom had to get her yes. I had to get out of something that was bad. God was waiting for me to say yes so she could be blessed. You know, sometimes we hold up our family's blessings too.
Yeah.
We don't even know that. You know, like I had to tell this toxic relationship no, and my mama got her blessings when I said yes to God.
There you go.
So sometimes you got to move like that. For real. Your no was, I got to get out this vixen space, whatever.
Right.
So your daughter can get her yes. You know, and you could get those generational curses, those bondage out of your way so you could start purging into your victory season. You know, you had to change and shift your atmosphere and come down to Atlanta so you can maneuver the way you need to maneuver, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing because we don't like change and we want to stay in a place because we feel like this is our comfort. And it's like, no, you know, God wants more and he wants that yes. And that yes may come with walking alone. That yes may come with sleepless nights. That yes may come with no food. Yes may come with a fasting for 30 days just to see your next, you know? So I've been in that space.
I'm signing up. Like, I already know. I done been there.
I done been there. And I didn't know about any of this until God put it in my face at a young age, you know? And I'm still young for sure, but it's in a space of my mama called me one day. She said, I know it yet. But don't get trapped in there. And I was there for 5 years. And my 5 years caused me to miss out on certain things. I was still moving and grooving in my career. But just imagine if I said no and how many things I could have gotten. But I've gotten it now because I said no. And my yes caused me to walk in my victory season. And I'm living in it. And that's 2018, 19. Now we 24.
Oh, there we go.
2024 right now. You know,
Hello. You've made space in
good.
that way too by saying to someone, time for you to go or time for me to go, right? You made that shift. You've done the same thing.
You have to. Absolutely. You know, you can't have people taking up space. What's important is the beauty is when you are able to recognize that. So like you were saying, imagine if I would have said no 5 years ago. I missed out on so many opportunities, but maybe the timing wasn't right for that.
Yeah.
And then when you intentionally said, you know what, enough is enough. And now you were able to intentionally say, I deserve better, I deserve more, and move on. And then now you're moving the person that's taking up space and energy, what do you call it? Energy vampires and all of that. I mean, then you allow room for, you know, good stuff to come in.
Great things to come through.
One thing I'll do is like, I'll go through, like, I end up with a lot of clothes. And so it's like,
but that's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
Sincerely, let it go. You weren't you know,
Look, the skirt is short, and that was good when you were 18. But now at this age, how's that skirt looking?
So you got to get rid of it and make space for
literal
new
space.
Stuff, you know, do you want this BCBG? Do you want this product? You know, like that's my little analogy with that. But also, something I remind myself of is, you know, I believe in the yin and the yang, okay? It's black and it's white. You have to have darkness so that you can see light, you know, like, or else you wouldn't know it's light. So, like, life is about, you know, good and bad things and speaking to change and, like, moving somewhere. You know, that comes from fear, you know? But that's a natural human emotion. You're afraid of something, but you know, there are a lot of good things on the other side of fear. You're feeling that way because something is making you feel that way and moving you to that. It's resonating with you. And you're not supposed to ignore your emotions. Even I'll say something like, I'll talk about jealousy. My personal definition of jealousy is
talk about
natural human emotion. Okay? But jealousy, my definition is confused admiration. Okay. So, you know, because we're in spaces where you're surrounded by a lot of women and stuff, but if someone may come off like jealous to you or whatever, it's like you feel like someone has something that you can't attain or you don't have the power to attain and you wish that it was yours or whatever. And I mean, we can talk like material things or we can talk literal character kind of things. And you do have that. You can attain that. Jealousy is a natural emotion to say, wait a minute, why can't I have that? What do I need to do to go and apply some elbow grease and bust my butt to get to that? Because I have the capacity to do that too. So if I ever get a tinge or something like, why? It's like, well, what could I be doing better? It's not just like, oh, she thinks she all that or well, what could I be doing? It's really like,
what does it really translate into? Motivational. Yeah, I worked with.
I feel it. I know.
I worked with some women on the domestic violence response team, and so we would go out and we get trained on why people were actually angry, and really anger is just fear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And and so it's interesting that you're talking about how, you might have one emotion or one feeling, but it actually might mean something else because we're just human and we feel these things. So there's a sense of, you might be angry about something like, oh my goodness, I can't believe why I can't figure this out. I don't like my job. It's really just fear because you need to be stepping out and doing something else besides that job.
Instead of handing me my French fries all cold.
Exactly. Exactly. I know I couldn't have made you mad. I just ordered fries, right?
Yeah, right. But even for me, it's like, I had something that was more in my face. Like even last year, I had a project that I was working on and I was producing, and there was a young lady who I had already been friends with for like 12 years, and we had worked within business, but not to the capacity of, oh, we're getting ready to produce a film together. We worked together in other capacities, and I was just trying to figure out, like, why couldn't we get past this hurdle? Like, the money is there. Like, when the money is there, it's like everything should fall in place, right? Yep. It's like, because you know how to play. You know how to make this happen, all the points and the T's lining up. And I said to myself, gosh, like, why isn't this happening? But there was something else that was going on in the background. A lot of what you said, the jealousy, the envy. And as soon as it was brought to me in my face, like, you need to let her go from the development stage. And I was just like...
You don't want to see it sometimes.
That's true.
But I was trying to help the sister because I wanted her to succeed because she wanted it.
Come on.
I see.
And I knew that she wasn't really in that space yet. So I'm doing everything I can, but stuff that I couldn't see was getting messy. It was stuff that was happening. I was like, So when it was brought to me, it was like, you need to let her go. Which I did, and I did it nice and easy. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm so sorry that this is turning out to be this way. Maybe it could be the next one, but it can't be this one. But as soon as I did that, the floodgates of heaven, it was like, they opened up, honey. I'm talking about, we found our location in 2 days. The main star came in 2 days. It was all there. And it's like, we were shooting in a week and a half. And I was like, praise God. Wow. And when I tell you, like, everything happened still on that back end.
Yeah.
She no longer follow me. She don't like me. All this kind of stuff. She was trying to stop the project. I was just like, for what?
So let me ask you this, though.
Like,
looking back, did you miss the signs or did you see them and then not see them?
I saw them afterwards.
Okay.
I saw them afterwards because they have to be brought back up to you. You know what I'm saying? From other people, like maybe very close to you, watching you. But, when you in something, you don't see it.
Right.
And so, like, you're always, because you're still trying to be the help, or you're wanting things to happen, or you're trying to get over this hurdle. So once I was able to see it, I was like, oh, that's what that was.
That's that discernment you were talking about.
I was just saying that. I was just, in my spirit, it was just like discernment. But then I think the biggest thing is now that the world is so crazy and we have so many things that are happening, I think it's so best before set is to pray. It's so much to carry from what's going on in your house. It's whatever that is. If it's negative, don't carry it on set. But if you are getting in your routine and you're getting up and you're praying and you get up and you're being hopeful and you have a great morning, bring that energy to set and be prayerful, because God will show you, and I think he won't even let nothing get by you if you just say, I need you to show me today, because we would have caught certain things off rip, like boo-boo. I don't like that. Why? Because now I done already prayed. God's showing me. That's one red flag. And then go on. But when we're moving around as creatives, we're like, we're going to pray in the car. Thank you, Lord. Right. And whatever going on set. And then you're like, all right, well, here go on set. You said whatever go on. The wind flying this way. You fighting somebody. The girl's trying to take your spot. The actor not acting right. Yeah. So you got to be very, very detailed when you're talking to him. And that's what I've learned.
That is true.
And you have asked earlier, different people, like I wanted to say it's, for me, I don't like yes people around me. Tell me about myself. You're slip and showing, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that it especially when new devils, if you will, but like it's easier for people to like not want to irritate Pretty Vee so she doesn't have a bad day on set and not, you know what I mean? And it's something that can organically happen, but I need to be able to trust the core people that I have around me to be like, no, I don't like that. Like your friends will be like, that's not funny to me, but you can still listen to it and they're not afraid of you. And I think that is something that is really important. And I think that I like to call it, because I'm very down to earth. I could come in here and talk about accolades and all this stuff, but it's like I call it flipping the switch. I know when to go home and I got to walk my dog and I got to do
right.
You know, and it's not
For
like,
sure.
come do this for me, you know, like.
But you like the truth. You like truth tellers around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also it's a way to, you know, to tell me the truth, but at least I have people that will tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Right, you're right. It has to be the right way.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Like my team, right there with that little white shirt on, she gonna text you and tell you that ain't it. You know, she gonna tell me that ain't what we gonna do. And I never have yes mans around me. I got someone that's gonna give me my space around me. They know like my face is like, let me give her a moment. Right. And then now when we've all gotten better as a team, because we all go through things, when we get nit and tit, then you know like, hey, I'm gonna let you know like, I don't like that. You know, I'm gonna let you know like, your slip, like she said, is showing. That part down the middle, you got some dandruff. Let's get that before Terrence Day come in here and look at that.
Real over
you know, I'm telling you right now, you something in your teeth. I'm letting you know I didn't like that attitude and you made me feel away.
Right.
That's it for me, you know. Or I don't like what you did and how you spoke to me. I feel away.
Those are hard conversations.
Yes, it is. Yes. And then I had to work and I had to learn. And I had to learn on me because I'm the type of person, what are you talking about? Like I snap, but then I'd be like, well, hey V, you did say something wrong. Like
you're not grown. Naomi Campbell throwing a
right. And I used to be in a space of like, hey, like, what are we talking about? Like what? But it's more of like, hey, my sis over here has feelings. Like, you know, what's going on with her? She's helping me. Like people don't understand your glam team, your PR, your manager, your agents, they matter. You know, one thing that I've watched Missy Elliott do is talk about her dancers. We ain't looking at Missy Elliott for too long. We over here trying to figure out who that girl is did that split in the back.
Right.
And that L with that moon's outfit on. So for me, with my team, it's like we're looking at her hair and her makeup. She's pretty, and I get what V's saying, but who the hell did her ponytail?
Right.
Who the hell did her makeup? But that comes with the team, and you have to respect it. Am I learning each time? Yes, I am. I'm not perfect. Things has happened between me and my circle because I want things right. But on their end, they're like, well, we're trying to make sure that you look the best.
Yes.
And when you know that, you're like, all you gotta do is respect it and be like, all right, cool, let you walk out.
But it's also give and take because being a creative and being basically you are, you know, the breadwinner, okay, of your circle. Like they don't understand the different pressures. You can never fully understand unless you're walking in your shoes, which is very lovely, by the way. I like what
she put heels on for us today.
So it's good to definitely have that balance and let them be able to check you and keep you down to earth or you know, make sure, okay, your personality and who you truly are does change. But sometimes it is situations that do call on you to be a bitch. You can't have everybody just, you know, like your personality and who you are. You're like I feel like Ty. I feel like myself, like a candle, right? And there's a lot of moths attracted to the flame. How do you discernment, a big one for me as well. But everybody can't come. So
everybody don't make the cut.
Everybody don't make the cut. We deal with before we close our eyes and we are thinking about them, but not just hair. It's makeup. It's our team. It's my manager. We have a lot of people, our family, our kids to consider. And you know, I just think it's in one word, I think grace on both ends.
Yeah, you know, I think that is very true, right? And the biggest thing is like all my friends are winning. Even my team. My hairstylist has become a whole creative director. You know, my makeup artist has become working on sets of the movies. You know, she ain't just with me every day. You know, my other makeup artist has been doing the same thing. You know, my PR has become someone else that, you know, she's behind the scenes, but like, I want to be in the front. Everybody's doing and moving around. So everyone's winning, right? But I think it's how you treat people. Like, I can give y'all grace all day. Like, that's fine. Like, give me grace, girl. You know, I got so much stuff going on. I had to walk on 4-5 Emmy stages. Now I'm hosting this. Like, don't talk to me right now. But, you know, I still love you. All right, girl, let's go. And the same for them because they're coming in with extra baggage as well. They're coming in with weight as well. And you throwing that on me. So we need to go ahead and pray right quick. Get from around me with that, you know. And I think that's what they know with me. Like, we're not going to bring that. The other day I called my hairstylist. I was like, bro, I had a bad day, bro. I had to switch my dates from filming. I don't want to bring that to y'all, you know, because I'm going to deal with it in my house, you know, and then when I'm done, then I'm going to holler at y'all, you know, because I know how I can get and they don't deserve that. So we could give both sides grace, but it's really and truly how you treat people. And I'm learning to to get in a space of understanding, like, okay, cool, you know, because they're there and they're there for you. That's the biggest thing. And you don't really find, I have a small team, but a dedicated team. So it's just about really, because they could shift. They could say, girl, I appreciate you. This been 5-year run.
Like, I got to go.
Talk to y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all remember what you did? The glass flew over my head.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yo, thank you for tuning in to Not All Hood. You have no idea how much of a treat this is for us. So please like, comment, subscribe. Just join the conversation. We appreciate you.
Can we just give it up for the Black makeup artists and hairstylists?
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know about y'all, but I remember going to a set once, and, you know, for people who know, I do the news and all that. And the makeup artist was there. I had one bag. This came from CVS. It was one brown color. That was it.
No.
Yeah.
I just happened to bring my makeup that day. And for people who don't understand, in order to get into be an artist, a makeup artist, or a hair artist, work on a set. Like, it is very important to a Black woman, especially, to have that in order. Like, we have mentioned,
she introduced all those colors.
Yeah.
Complexions.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, absolutely, it's a big deal. But you mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah,
so I just wanted
it's
to give
a
it out.
big deal.
Big
People don't
deal.
understand, like, you're the talent, you have the gift, we get it, they're behind the scenes, but it's their work.
Right. I mean, like, who's doing this?
Who's doing
You know what I'm
that?
saying? We know who's doing my hair.
Who
You
is
know
doing
what
them
I'm
whole
saying?
looks, baby? Who is taking the time? And it's an art.
It
so
is.
it's like they really, just like with Style Me Christmas, you know, shout out to my girl Picasso. She did my whole, you know, vibe in the movie, you know, so I'm excited about it.
Since you say that, I got to piggyback. For Style Me for Christmas, I feel like we're not really shouting out the costume.
Right.
The costume
was great.
She came with
it was great.
It's about style. Like, so
Right. That's the whole
impressed.
thing.
Yeah.
And I do want to go
And
there
Bobby
as
was T in the commercial. I said, who is that?
Yep.
Baby, that body was
They knew how
T.
this nigga
Hello.
stay.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the energy. I know that a lot of people are going to be watching Style Me for Christmas, thanks to all of you.
Yes.
I do want to end on that note, and that is that we all have Christmas traditions or holiday traditions or holiday traditions, whatever we celebrate. You, especially with your Jamaican roots, people, you know, you mentioned it a couple times, and especially being a PK, I know celebrating the holidays had to be big in your house. What are traditions that you love and like to keep alive?
Just me. I'm a big family person. Like I like the festive vibes. I like to be the character. I like to throw on a turkey head. If I gotta go buy something, I like the costumes. I like just the family oriented vibe. Just like my friends know, they come to my house and it's a Christmas thing, I'm gonna be dressing up. Like head to toe, sock, ears, head, Grinch outfit, whatever it is.
Have a Grinch.
Wow.
Yes, she does.
I do. So I'm like, I like the festive vibes. But with my family, it's just nothing but love, laughter, and just good up food. If I was in Miami right now, it's fish, nice little curry, nice little bun on cheese, nice little sorrel juice. Like, that's the vibe.
Ooh,
but
she said
I can't
sorrel.
stop it in the morning. It's in the morning. But here, I have both worlds, the Carolinas and Miami mix. So my mom like, I don't do all that. Go to your auntie house in Miami. We finna eat some turkey legs around here. We gonna do some white rice and all that. So my mom has her foot into both worlds, but she puts down on Thanksgiving. So, and just even the holidays period. So yeah.
Nice. I like the curry and all of that.
Yeah.
I like the curry and all that. Yes.
The Caribbean vibes.
What are the traditions you're trying to keep alive? Or that you remember growing up?
That I remember growing up? Well, for me, I'm gonna wrap a gift. Okay.
You're one of those people.
Yes. I'm the expert rapper. Okay. People be like, can you rap this for me? But I'm gonna sit up all night and really be Santa Claus, and
I love that.
Beautifully. I'm adding bells onto the strings and ornaments and stuff. So that's one thing about it. And I'm gonna always have a Christmas tree, and it's gonna be themed every year.
Yeah.
And you just have one. You know, so many people have 4, 5, 6 Christmas trees.
I did. Well, the last Christmas I did have 2.
Okay.
but I'm scaling it back. I have one solid one and I usually always get a fresh tree, but now I'm just like, okay. I was in a relationship then too, so I had a man that could strap it on the top.
Wait, and get those pines after when they come down and sweep them up. Yes. It's a good smell, but the post of it, it's tough.
I'm gonna just keep my artificial one and like spray it with the pine scent smell.
Okay, there we go.
And also the fake snow and all that.
Yeah.
But Christmas trees are very important to me.
They are.
Yeah, because that's something that, 2 things about it. My grandmother, can make the heck out of a bed, okay? It has to be folded this way, pillow sit up, like, that was one of the things she prided in life, so I could make the hell out of a bed and I can decorate a Christmas tree.
I know that's right.
Decorate a Christmas tree and wrap those gifts.
Yes, I did. I had my tree up for 3 years. I just took it down.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute.
It turned into the Valentine's Day
baby.
tree.
Yeah. And the Mother's Day tree. And the
Oh
Father's
my
Day
God.
tree.
It was up
July 4th tree.
It was up for 3 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
St. Patrick's Day.
I mean, my tree was $1,700. It better be up for the rest of my life.
That's,
You know, it
I
better
got
be
you.
up for the rest of my life.
Yes,
But
there
then
we
I said,
go.
So when do you take a tree down now? You had yours for 3 years.
well, I just really just took it down. Like I was home one day. I was like, okay, this is aggravating me. It's in the corner of my living room.
Put it back up again.
I'm not going to. I'm going to just do mini ones around my house. I'm just do cute little mini
I like
ones,
that.
like
I like that
on
idea.
my centerpiece table over there by my consoles. Like I'm gonna just do it that way. I ain't gonna do all that. I done 3 years up there. I got to see you again. I don't want to do that.
So you're like my mom, because that's what she used to do. She would keep her tree up. Like she had it up for like 6 years, and it didn't come down until they sold the house.
This what I'm
So
saying.
it's like
Really?
it was the centerpiece.
Yeah.
That's just what it was.
I don't want that. I wanted to do mini little.
That is
frosty.
amazing how
And the
people
lights-
deal with their trees.
The lights
were on too?
at night. Yeah, you turn the
That's
lights on
me.
at
I was
night.
doing all that.
But I do love a Christmas spirit though. Like I
Ooh,
can
me
understand
too.
that. Like there's
Yeah.
something about a tree and the songs and hang all the mistletoe. Like when that comes on, I'm like, we are in Christmas season.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is good. It is
Yeah.
like I've started watching my my Christmas shows already.
Oh,
Me
you
too.
already
I was
on
watching that
Hallmark.
in July.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, it is a Christmas in July.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
There is,
Yeah.
yes. So I know that you are different with your Christmas holidays too.
Because I got so much going on. I'm a mom of 4. And then, I got 22 at the highest age and the lowest age is 6. So my son is like, Mommy, when is Santa? Are you going to leave the cookies? I'm like, child, we got to do all this still. So it's like I got some that still believe in all that happening. So I'm doing, the pound cakes, the
Jesus.
pecan pies still,
okay.
everything is still happening. We doing the Christmas tree, of course,
Yes.
but it's like up before Thanksgiving. Like if it's not up by Thanksgiving,
It's
you
a
feel
wrap.
like, it's not really happening. So my kids are already asking like, when are we getting our Christmas tree? I'm like, darn, we haven't even gotten into like,
Can we get into
still
December?
Hello.
Yeah.
But they want the tree up, right away. It's just, my husband, his family, my in-laws, they're all from Charleston, South Carolina. They're Gullah Geechee. So
Oh, really?
yeah, we do some different
yeah.
stuff. So we're walking to the water because it's literally right in front of the house. We're crabbing, we're oystering, we're shucking, oysters, clams. So
I all that.
Oh
all
yeah,
that,
so South Carolina here,
Yeah,
both
the
y'all.
I.
I mean the ancestry of the Geechee people. I mean,
Ooh,
and
Lord.
all that
Girl,
they've
I'm
preserved.
talking about the real Geechee. I mean, my kids take off their shoes and they run with the mud on their feet. Okay,
Okay,
I'm
you
talking
are
about it's
for
real.
real. Yeah, yeah.
The
you
village
are.
still is alive.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it is.
Village.
It
The
very much
bubblegum
is.
shrimp is still down in Charleston, South Carolina. I done went down to the bubblegum.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And look, and all the rice you can eat in South Carolina.
All the rice.
That is
With
where
some
it
ketchup
all
on it.
began. It
I'm
all
getting
began.
hungry.
So listen, as we close, my final thing, this is really what I want from these amazing, powerful women here. What does a woman bring to the creativity of a project? I don't want to say that a man can't bring, but what can a woman bring that really makes the difference when you get involved in projects and when you really want to make that project go from A to Z?
I'll say I reposted it. There's a commercial that's a UK commercial, and I don't know if you're familiar with Bridgerton.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? And you're like Bridgerton. So the woman who plays Queen Charlotte's best friend or Lady Danapor or something, but she's a really super talented, theatrically trained actress, and she has a really beautiful bald head, like outside of all the wigs and everything. But she's the star of this commercial for Boots, which is the equivalent of like CVS or Walgreens here.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks in super stylish. She's Mrs. Claus. And she walks in, she sees Santa Claus sleeping. And she was like, and then she comes outside and it says Mrs. Claus's shop. And she got all the workers are on point. They're doing makeup.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need? She's like, do this, do that. She's like handling it all, you know? And then at the end of the commercial, she goes, you thought he did this all by himself?
There you
it's
go.
kind of like definitively to me, like, that they'll say, you see a strong man or a good man, there's a woman that's stronger behind it. I mean, Michelle and, Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we are the table, not what do we bring to the table, but it's also dope when you do. That's what we bring. We are the table. We provide that for you to build from. So there are different ways that women contribute. You know, I'll call it like a je ne sais quoi. Maybe it's something that can't really be put into words, but it's a touch, it's a feeling, it's our empathy, it's our discernment, it's our spiritual self, it's our wanting to strengthen the people that are around us, because, you know, when you win, I win.
Yeah.
You win, I win. And it just keeps this beautiful circle going. So
yeah,
we just it.
I love it. And I think it's the right women, you know, the right women with, you know, everything piggybacking with what Sincerely just said, and looking at the details of things that maybe what men might overlook to help get to the real execution. Okay. So that means that, you know, if something we see might have been blurred to them because they don't see, they're not looking in that direction, or they're just overlooking. So I like to say for us, the devil is in the details, you know, so we got to get to the details of some things to make sure that it's not going to be in that final straw for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I know you got a good word. I'm gonna call you preacher, because I know you got a good word.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Sis said what I was gonna say. You know, like, and it sums it all up. It's just like we are the table. We bring it. You know, it's the mind. You know, we're more enhanced than the man. Like, we know, we see the man vision before he even speaks. I was like, I know it. I see you could do this now. Follow my lead. Let me take you there. You know, let me help you get there. Let me help you elevate. So I think for me, it's just more of like, just the mind. I think we, as women, we have a strong mind. Oh, yeah. And we have a strong discernment. Our intuition don't never lie. You know, and then of course, you know, too, as women, we want more, right? And sometimes men could be complacent where they're at. They like, we good right here. You know, I got this going, Women, we like, just a car in the house? Oh, baby, I see myself doing this. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I think just the mind that we bring to the table is very powerful as women, because we have a strong mind and we see ourselves there before it even happens anyway. So now they just have to catch up. You know, so yeah.
Catch up, mustard.
Yeah.
What I see in a lot of spaces, and especially even here today, and what I hear is that, especially when it's women of color, we are these days, especially because of the world we live in, I know you mentioned that earlier, we are more inclined to help each other and pull each other aside. You might get that one person who, you know, that you do have to look out for. But I get the spirit of what I see around this set. A friend of mine was telling me about a friend of hers who was at her work, and it wasn't going well for her at her job at all. But she was the only Black woman who worked at this particular job. And she really was on this young Black woman about, you know, acting a certain way that wasn't acceptable. I said, but you know, if she was in a space where there was one more Black woman there, she would probably pull her inside and tell her what she was doing wrong. Wow. I said, but because she's working in some place where she's the one and only there, it's hard to find that camaraderie, but we have natural camaraderie and we do like to see each other get along. And I'm glad that is the message of having all of you here today. Yes. Thank you.
Style me for Christmas.
Thank you. Style me for Christmas.
Yes.
Not all hood.